Hello everyone, this is Silver Chi. Today I want to share with you guys how I created this super cool night hyperlapse through New York City using the latest QooCam 3. So let's get started. First of all, let's look at the settings. It's actually quite simple. I just use the full auto with a EV-1. Since there are lots of bright lights in the city, I don't want things to be blown out. So after that, you can just see what I did in the intro. Basically, I just put the camera on the selfie stick, then into my backpack, then just make sure it's secure and then ride the scooter. Now we arrive home safe and sound. Let's get into the post. So the first thing is to stitch the footage using QooCam Studio. So you just click import, click any file you have recorded, and QooCam Studio gonna merge your files into a single continuous recording. So you just make sure you selected the view lock steady and also the defringe and the color correction. And then you can just output the file. I recommend output in H.265 and high bit rates. Then we just waited to finish and then imported the stitched file into DaVinci Resolve for our next steps. So we just create a new project and import the file that we just exported. And then we create a new timeline using selected clips. So here I'm creating an 8K timeline. You can also use 5.7K. So then we just trim the start and the finish point of our clip. And we find this portion to be like moving quite fluidly. And then we enable retime controls and retime curve. We need to do some time remapping to make it look like I'm riding really fast. So right now I'm creating a spot. So I want the whole clip to be like normal speed at first and then ramping up the speed to like 1200%. And make sure you change the ramp up to like the curve mode so that your speed is changing in a curved manner. It's not like abruptly just change speed. Yeah, right now it looks like the speed is just ramping up quite smoothly. That's what we want. And then we go into the Fusion tab. And next we use panel map to adjust the VR view of our footage. And you might need some keyframing here to keep the horizon exact level. And after that we go to the color tab and we do some color adjustment here. So we go to the motion effect tab and we add some temporal noise reduction. I find the settings here works pretty good for my footage. And then we add a little bit of sharpness in the blur tab. And we create another node. This node is just for adding motion blur. So go to the motion effects here and choose the better and the motion range large. And I wanted the whole thing to be like silky smooth with lots of motion blur. You can see the effects here, it looks pretty cool. And we add some LUTs and we can export the file. I choose ProRes 422 for this one. Since we're gonna do lots of reframing here, choosing ProRes will make it less taxing for your computer. So now our render is finished, let's check it out. We can see it has very good color, very low noise, and also with a nice smooth motion blur. Now let's do the reframing using Adobe Premiere Pro and GoPro FX Reframe. Okay, let's create a new project and then drag the output from DaVinci into Premiere. Then new sequence from clip. You can see our clip has been imported. And now we need to change the sequence setting. So we are looking for to output a 9:16 portrait for social. So we only need 1080p resolution. Now it seems cropped, but just don't worry about it. Now we go to effects, we go to video effects, GoPro FX Reframe. Now we can select the projection here. Let's select social 9:16. Now we can see the footage is already being reframed. We can just fine tune all these settings. So let's keyframe each of these parameters. So pan, yeah, it's just so let's tweak it. Let's make our starting view. Basically, it's just keyframing. Just keep play with it. Okay, so after some tweaking, I end up with something that I think it's a very cool transition. Basically, it's just a combination of different keyframes at different time and places. So one thing to note is that make sure you are using either ease in or ease out or Bezier curve. Since we want the transition to be very smooth, you can actually see how each parameter changes over time. Make sure you see a smooth curve along this. Actually, we see one problem here. See right here? There seems to be an abrupt ending to this transition. Also this one. Let's fix that. So we just basically select all here. Let's choose ease in. See, now everything was nice and smooth. The last thing we need to do is just to export a file and we are all set. So that's it for this tutorial. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go out and get some amazing shots using our QooCam 3. See ya!